It's Saturday, August 29th, and I've gotten a little bit ahead of myself. I wanted to give an update on how our 3 gardens are doing, the 2 Aerogardens and then the garden outside. And part of that was to clean up this small Aerogarden, but as you can see, I already started. Here's the basil that we cut out of it, the thyme, a couple of the other plants, mint and dill, are in the trash, and the Thai basil I have yet to cut out. The dill was completely dead, and the parsley was looking quite ragged, and everything else is getting sort of brown around the edge of the leaves. So it just seemed like it was time to start over and refresh this. So I'll finish cleaning this up, and then we will replant it. Okay, I cleaned and rinsed this Aerogarden, and you can see I replanted it with pods that I made myself. Parsley, pak choy, basil, pak choy, and pak choy. And then I didn't have a pod to fill this spot, so I put black tape over it to keep the light out so that I don't get algae growth. All right, we put the domes on, we've got it plugged in, and everything's reset, and we're ready to see how these grow. Okay, down here in the grow room with the big Aerogarden, you can see we've got a lot of things sprouted. Rouge d'hiver lettuce, that's dill, basil, 4 seasons lettuce, more 4 seasons lettuce, more rouge d'hiver. This hasn't sprouted yet, deer tongue lettuce. Red sails is sprouted. Black seeded Simpson is sprouted. More Simpson chives just sprouted today, I think. And Paris Island lettuce has sprouted. Over on the other side, we've got pak choy looking really good. All 3 have sprouted. They grow really fast. The Thai chili pepper has not sprouted yet, but those sprout very slowly in the best of conditions, so that's no surprise. And then our heirloom cherry tomato that came with the Aerogarden has sprouted and is looking okay. So that is it for the 2 Aerogarden update, and now we'll check out what's going on outside. All right, let's check out what's going on in the outdoor garden. Gardens, whatever. So, you can see we've got our flowers still coming along up here. This is a cucumber. We've gotten a few fruits off of it. Looks like it's pretty much done for the year. Again, wasn't a great year. Tabasco pepper. They're really small, but we've gotten a couple of those. And they're very cool colors, like oranges and yellows and reds. Here's our cherry tomato, sun sugar. And it's climbing up. I mean, we're still getting some new fruit, so hasn't been that productive, but it hasn't been terrible either. Down here's another cucumber, nothing really to see there. We've got some parsley here, doing okay. This is chard from the spring. It's been growing all season. Just growing slow. We'll harvest that in the fall, let it get as big as it can. Carrots down here, same thing. Let them get as big as they can, then we'll pick them. Lemon drop pepper. This has been probably our best pepper plant so far. Maybe the ahi rico has, but the ahi ricos aren't spicy. But for spicy peppers, this one's been producing pretty well. That looks to be empty. This mess here is covering up oregano down underneath. You can barely see it. Here's kale. Again, this has been in all season, but it's big enough we can start to harvest some now. So again, we'll let it go, but here's basil. These are looking nice. We should harvest some of this before it bolts. Those kind of grew quick on me. I didn't even notice. These are our Vermont cranberry dry shelling beans, this huge mass that's overtaking everything. And you can see their flowers, and there are some beans in here, so happy with how these are going. Hope we'll get a nice harvest by the end of the season. More parsley down there. And then this was watermelon radishes, but they've all been eaten or something, so oh well. Our green pole beans here. We've picked over a pound of these. I mean, you can see up here, there's more that are ready to pick. This is doing great. So, I mean, if you look at bean roots when they grow really aggressively. So it's not surprising that the beans would be doing really well in this thick, sort of nasty soil we've got, and everything else is not. So the beans are saving the day. These two are pretty much empty. There's some lettuce in one of them, but it's too shaded to grow. Sun Gold cherry tomato. Not doing as well as the Sun Sugar, but again, we're getting some fruit, and there's still some more coming in. Oh, what is down here? I don't know. It's covered in beans. So we'll skip it. Carrots. Oh, look, there's a big one. So those carrots are actually doing okay. Again, we'll leave those in for as long as we can this season. I think that these are carrots too next door. Not sure. There's kale hidden in the next spot. It's hard to see, but it's there. Here are Derby green bush beans. They're not growing as fast as the pole beans, but we've actually picked one of those today, the first one, so they're doing okay. The spot was pak choi, it all got eaten. These are more Derby green bush beans. So again, really happy we're getting some beans. Here's kohlrabi. That's not, well, no, maybe they're kind of forming into heads. Hasn't been doing that well. These are the rock door bush beans with the yellow pods. So we're getting some fruit there, or veggies, I don't know. More flowers too. Here's more kohlrabi, including our only one that's actually forming a nice strong head. This is the Vienna purple kohlrabi. More rock door beans here. Again, yellow. And chives. Over here in the big bed, marigolds are struggling, but what blooms we have are pretty. We tried to fill in some of the space with chard and stuff. The empty space is not growing that well, even though there is some chard. Here are the ahi ricos. Still a lot coming in there. It would have been nice to see how this would grow in a good year for the garden, because it's been really productive even with the problems we've had. Roma tomato. The Brussels sprouts. I don't even know why we leave this. It's going nowhere, but whatever. More basil, looking nice. Broccoli and cauliflower that don't have time. They're not going to develop anything. Cayenne peppers. This plant has only produced a few fruit, unfortunately. The brandywine tomatoes. So it took a long time to set any fruit, but we've got a few now. They're small, but hopefully those will all ripen. More marigolds on the end here. And of course, there's some other things along the edge. Chard. There's some cilantro. And then our raspberries are doing very well. You can see we've got nice big canes here. That'll produce a lot of fruit next year, hopefully. We're getting some new canes coming up from different parts of the soil. They're spreading like they're supposed to, so that's good. Here's another one. And actually some are coming out of the box, which is unfortunate, but we'll have to just mow those. There was some damage from the Japanese beetles, but it's not terrible. So overall, pretty happy with how those have grown and excited to see what becomes of them next year. Okay, and with that, we've toured the 2 Aerogardens and the big garden. That's it. Thank you very much for watching.